Welcome back students to DSS online classes, and today we will study about pollination. In my last lecture I explained you about the megasporogenesis and development of female gametophyte, and before that I explained you about microsporogenesis and development of male gametophyte. Means the gametogenesis topic we have discussed, and you know that the sexual reproduction in flowering plants, it consists of three phases, that is pre-fertilization phase, which consists of gametogenesis and gamete transfer, then comes fertilization stage, and then comes post-fertilization stage. So in pre-fertilization stage we have discussed about gamete formation, that how male and female gametes are formed in plants, flowering plants. Now the second point comes gamete transfer. So the gamete transfer in case of plants, that takes place by a phenomena, that phenomena is called pollination. So today's topic is pollination. The term pollination you have studied since class 7th. In 7th class you have studied about pollination, and you can generally define pollination, that pollination is a biological phenomena in which transfer of pollen grains from anther of a flower to the stigma of same flower or to the stigma of another flower. That is called pollination. Means transfer of pollen grains, that is male gametophyte, transfer of pollen grains from anther of a flower to the stigma of same flower or to the stigma of another flower. That is called pollination. And I have explained you about the flower also, that flowers, they are unisexual or they may be bisexual. Unisexual flower, they can be staminate or they can be pistillate, and bisexual flower means stamen and carpel, they are present in the same flower. So on that basis, pollination, it is of two types. That is types of pollination. The one is called self-pollination or autogamy, and second one is called cross-pollination or allogamy, even we call it as xenogamy. And one more pollination is also reported, that is called ditonogamy. So these are the different types of pollination, self-pollination and cross-pollination. Now what is difference between self-pollination and cross-pollination or autogamy or allogamy? So the basic difference is that when transfer of pollen grains from anther of a flower to the stigma of same flower, then it is called self-pollination. Transfer of pollen grains from anther of a flower to the stigma of same flower, then it is called self-pollination. And cross-pollination means transfer of pollen grains from anther of a flower to stigma of another flower, which may be genetically similar. Then it is called cross-pollination. This is the first difference between self-pollination and cross-pollination. Now, self-pollination and cross-pollination, one more difference is there, that self-pollination, it does not produce variation. Genetic variation is not found in case of self-pollination. But in case of cross-pollination, there is genetic variation. So genetically, if we talk difference, if we talk about difference between self and cross-pollination, on genetical basis, then self-pollination, it does not produce variation and it leads to homozygosity. Whereas cross-pollination, it produces variation, genetic variation is produced by cross-pollination, and it produces variant characters. They produce hybrid characters. So, from commercial point of view or economic point of view, cross-pollination is necessary. or it is very important. Now the self-pollination or autogamy, it is further of different types, and these different types of self-pollination or autogamy we will study one by one. That is, first one is called cleistogamy. Cleistogamy. Second one is chasmogamy. Chasmogamy. And third one is called bud pollination. These are the three important types of self-pollination or autogamy. Now, what is meaning of cleistogamy? The term cleisto means hidden, which cannot be seen, and gamy term means, it is a Greek term. Gamy term means marriage, hidden marriage. But we are talking about plants. So here, what is main point to understand is how gametes are transferred. So in cleistogamy, cleistogamy is characterized, or it is characteristic feature of those plants, those flowering plants whose flower never open. They never expose their anther or stigma. The flower remains always closed. As in the case of groundnut. Groundnut is good example of cleistogamy. If we observe a groundnut plant, then it produces two types of flower. The aerial part of the plant, groundnut plant, it consists flowers, but the flowers are sterile, means they do not produce gametes. But on the other hand, inside the soil, they produce cleistogamous flower, means their petals never open, means the flower they never open to expose their anther and stigma. So they remain closed, and inside that only self-pollination continues. And they also produce geocarpic fruit. You have studied in class 11th about different types of fruit. So groundnut is a good example of geocarpic fruit which is formed inside the soil, or which is formed inside the earth. So that is meaning of cleistogamy. It is its good example is groundnut, and here cleistogamous flower characteristic feature is that they never open to expose their anther and stigma. The second one is chasmogamy. Here chasmogamy means the chasmogamous flower, they open or they sprout to expose their anther and stigma. And then the pollen grains from anther are transferred to the stigma of the same flower. So that is called chasmogamy. So the basic difference between cleistogamy and chasmogamy is that the cleistogamous flowers, they never open to expose their anther and stigma, whereas chasmogamous flower, they open to expose their anther and stigma, and by different agents of pollination, self-pollination is enhanced or it is brought about. Now third one is bud pollination. So chasmogamy example, you can see rose plant, mustard flower. These are some common example of chasmogamy. And cleistogamy example, good example is groundnut. Now comes the point of bud pollination. Bud pollination, here when the flowers, in this type of pollination, when the flowers are in bud stage, they are in form of floral bud, then only their gametes mature and pollination is brought about. For example, you can see wheat and rice. These are two main crops of India, and in case of wheat and rice, self-pollination is brought about when the flowers are in floral bud stage. So we call it as bud pollination. So these are the three important types of self-pollination, that is cleistogamy, chasmogamy and bud pollination. Now we come to our next point, that is cross-pollination or allogamy and genogamy. Just now I explained you when the pollen grains from anther of a flower is transferred to stigma of another flower which may be genetically similar. That is called cross-pollination, which is also known as allogamy or xenogamy. Here, most of the flowers, the cross-pollinated flowers, you have seen they have certain characteristic features. The first characteristic feature is that they are colorful. They have colorful, variety of colorful petals, and they produce nectar. So these are the two important characteristic feature of cross-pollinated flower, that they are brightly colored and they produce large amount of nectar. Whereas on the other hand, the self-pollinated flowers, they are generally colorless and they produce no nectar. So that is difference between self-pollinated and cross-pollinated flowers. Geitonogamy is another type of pollination which is sometimes considered as a type of cross-pollination, but there is a certain controversy. Some biologists, they think that it is a self-pollination and some of them think that it is cross-pollination. So a different term is given to this, geitonogamy. Geitonogamy is also a type of pollination in which pollen grains from anther are transferred to the stigma of another flower but borne on the same plant. It means that geitonogamy is a type of pollination in which transfer of pollen grains from anther of a flower takes place to the stigma of another flower borne on the same plant.